We got this apartment before coming. We got this apartment while we were in Nigeria. We got this apartment without physically seeing it. Hi guys, and welcome back to the testing mic check 1 2. Hi guys, and this is Do. Remember how in my last video, if you haven't watched that yet, I think you should go watch it. So remember how in that last video saying I need to get my energy up because I'm just so okay. See, let's go. So hi guys, and welcome back to Do. Remember how in my last video, if you haven't watched that yet, I think you should go watch it. But remember how in that last video I told you all that I would do a sit down to tell you about how we got our apartment here in Canada. We got this apartment before coming. We got this apartment while we were in Nigeria. We got this apartment without physically seeing it. I'm really happy with what we got, because let me not lie, because it's really not a bad place to live in. The apartment is also what I would expect as, my first apartment here in Canada. There's certain things that, I would have preferred we have that we don't, some minor things here and there, but there are things that I can actually do without. If you want to know the things I'm talking about, check my last video. I did like an empty apartment tour, or rather, an empty apartment tour of that apartment, even if it was coming like like a year late, basically. But today, you know what we're here to talk about: how we got that apartment, how you could also get your apartment, because people have been asking loads of questions on how to get, apartments, places to live, stay in Canada. But I would streamline my conversation. It would definitely apply to other places, especially like small towns in Canada, but I'm going to talk about my own experiences here in Brandon, Manitoba. So let's see where to start from. You have come again. You've come again. Where was I? Okay, so I was about to narrate, give you guys the lowdown, give you the gist on how we got this apartment. Well, this is not the apartment. We're in our studio right now. My husband I don't know if I've mentioned that before. My husband is a professional photographer, so we're in the studio right now. He has a shoot that is about to start, and I just quickly want to get this in before life takes over. I'm telling you, the sun is out with that wahala that we saw during winter. With this little sun, when you just feel like heat like this, we don't even know how to behave anymore. I don't know how to behave anymore. I just want to go to everywhere that is in this place. Let me not lie to you people. Okay, so we're back to our story before I digress further. I'm thinking about where to start, because this story is okay. Maybe I'll take it backwards. Rewind. So when we got our PPR, we got our passport stamped, or in fact, it has to go way beyond that too. When we got our invitation to apply, and the LAA for the NPNP process before getting our nominations and all of that, we created a Telegram group where we help each other fill our LAA forms. It's basically it's strictly an LAA group. If you have an LAA, you could actually join that group, but it also transcends beyond that, such that we eventually, it started as us helping each other fill our applications, but it moved on to people meeting people that they could be friends with, people becoming friends with other people, interacting with each other all the time, holding our hands and singing kumbaya when we are happy, crying together when we are sad, waiting for NPNP to respond to us. You see how I'm digressing again, but you see, I'll bring it all together. You see what I mean? Bottom line, or all I'm just trying to say with this particular part of the story, is that we have this group where we help each other with our applications. But remember how I said it transcends beyond that. We started talking about other things. When we started landing, we created subgroups also. So like, for instance, there's a Brandon Connect group. So if you're in that LAA group and you're going to Brandon, you would join the Brandon Connect group to see what's happening. You ask your questions and stuff that's happening around in Brandon that you would like to know. So the moment we started landing one after the other, we started dropping tips, started answering questions. People would be like, hey, since you are there now, how is this place? What does this place look like? Or, oh, what is education like? What is child's what do you call it, care like, and whatnot. So it became a big ass community. Now, during one of those times, now fast forward to when we got our PPR, got our passport stamped and all of that. The plan was, when we come to Brandon, we're going to stay in my brother-in-law's house just for some time, because I honestly didn't want to stress myself about looking for a place. My husband is also quite particular about, certain things that he likes. He would like to see what it is that, he's getting. So we just said, you know what, we'll just stay in my brother-in-law's house for some time, and then while we're there, we can start looking around and searching for places without, excuse me, alhamdulillah, without any stress per se. So that was the plan. And then after we got our PPR, we also decided that we weren't going to come immediately, because we wanted to just stay in Nigeria as long as we can. There was also, let me not see the reason, that one is another story for another day, so I won't go into that. We weren't going to leave Nigeria immediately, so we were in Nigeria for at least 7 months before we moved to Canada. So during that period, someone in one of the groups I am in, or in that particular LAA group, I think LAA group or the Brandon Connect, announced and said, oh, she had already landed. And she said, oh, you guys, so there's an apartment available right now where I stay, around where I stay, and if you're interested, hit me up. So I now said, see, okay, you know what, let me just even ask and see, because remember I said we wanted to stay in our families, in our Brandon, in quotes, our Brandon family house. So I was like, okay, you know what, let me just even ask. Prior to that time, my husband has been checking Kijiji. There are a lot of these places. I would, let me get the names. So there are a lot of agencies or places that you can use to find house. So make I find out for you. I'm coming. I wrote them out. I like to have all of these things because I cannot remember everything in my head. Guys, let me not lie. So where did they? So my husband checked a couple of places. It's Kijiji, yes. So he checked Kijiji, rentals.ca. We checked almost all the websites that we know about on, trying to see what is real estate the right word now, what the rental market in this place is like, because he also wanted to know what is going to be our monthly rental cost. And let's even see what do the houses, or what does this place look like, the houses, what do they look like in this place also, and how much do they cost, what do they come with, the amenities, what's the environment like. So he's been checking all of these places, but he's checking to know what it is, right, that we would be looking out for, to also, no, not what we'll be looking out for. He's checking to know what is available and align that to what it is that he is looking out for, what he wants. So when this babe mentioned that, and I'm buzzed, I'm like, hey, I'm here, oh, I'm interested, you know what, can I see, what does this place look like, where is this area? And then she mentioned the name, and I realized that it's not one of those places that we have actually visited before. So I hopped onto Google immediately, typed out the name, saw the area, it looked really nice, and I'm like, that's interesting. And then forwarded that to my husband, who in turn reached out to the agency. And there's also something, so in reaching out to the agency, I know the next question would be, how did you reach out to them? Is it via email? Did you call? So there's, I think, their number is also on the website. So we had our Canadian number while we were in Nigeria. That's another thing, you people. Hey, you see the way things are just coming out. So I don't know if you guys know, but there's a way you can actually get a Canadian number while you are in Nigeria. So we use that to follow up with our process with NPNP, not NPNP this time around, with IRCC, but you can also use it to follow up with NPNP. But most of the time with NPNP, our own process was actually I won't say pretty fast, fairly fast is the word, especially, but pretty fast will be accurate right now compared to, you know, what's happening in the NPNP space right now. So we had that number we had our number. We used the app called Fongo. You use that to create your Canadian number, and then you could call. So that was how my husband reached out. So after sending them an email, then he also placed a call and dropped them a voice note so they could, you know, call us back. And that was how that conversation started. Now that is what my husband was doing on that end, right? And then I was also conversing with this lady who also spoke to the agency on our behalf, and they confirmed to her that we had already applied, and conversations had ensued. She also went, I don't see the apartment too, because it was still occupied. The person was moving out. I think I forgot when the person was moving out, but it was still occupied at that particular point in time. So, but what she did was show me her own apartment, because it's basically a replica of her apartment. And I'm like, okay, this isn't bad. This is something that I can work with. Worst case scenario is something that, you know, we could work with as our first apartment. I mean, it didn't look like a bad deal at all. So we continued that conversation, and then she did try you. In fact, before we even did that, the place that she wanted, the place that was available, she was going to check out the apartment for us. She wanted to go there to do a video, right? Then that was the first place. Then she now saw, just, you know, adjacent to her, just around her own area, adjacent to around her, around, not too far from her, she saw that somebody was moving out. So she now said, she called me and said, you know what, I just saw one place that is even better than that other place. I thought someone just came in. Let me go and check, please. Hold on. Oh boy. You guys, let me catch my breath. I don't know where I was in this hour gist though. Okay, so I honestly don't know where I stopped. And I'm hoping that I'm continuing right off. So as I know, I mentioned that, you know, she was going to the apartment, and then she saw another one, and then she said, oh, she saw something better and we would love this more, so that I should just trust her. It's kind of like her own apartment. And that was when she now showed me what her apartment looks like. What her apartment looks like. So I'm like, oh, this is good. I don't mind this at all. Now, remember how I said we're going to stay in my brother-in-law's house? The thing has wiped away from my brain, because I don't even send again. What I want is to just move into my own space, and if the opportunity is there, why not take it, right? So that's how we continued the conversation, and then they sent us the lease agreement. No, was it the lease? They sent us a form to fill where we entered our information, my husband's and mine, and then provided 2 referees. Is it referees or guarantors? One of the 2. We sent the form back in. We have not arrived Canada. All of these things were still happening while we were in Nigeria, but we're also, while we were in Nigeria, all of them were still happening. And then I said, oh, okay, we need to pay security deposit. So we now said, the lady has checked it out for us. Like, that's the person from the group, right? Then we told my brother-in-law too, who went to check the place out. And when he gave us the A-OK, we just said, oh, good and fine. We then paid the security deposit. Now, I know I haven't mentioned this yet, but this is another thing again, that this journey has been great, wallahi tallahi, and I can't say alhamdulillah enough, because we also even got to open our bank account in Nigeria before coming to Canada. I will talk about that in details in another video. So we already had our money, our proof of funds. We opened the account before, getting to Canada. In fact, we're all still in Nigeria at this point now. So our proof of funds were already moved into, our Canadian bank account. Our Canadian bank accounts. So my husband just wired the security deposits, and then we signed the lease. Maybe it was after that that we signed lease. I mean, lease came before that. One of the two, Sha, the way, see, the process is just jumbling up in my head. When I remember, I will just write it somewhere. I'll write which came first. I'll ask my husband because he was the one that was really in that process doing all of those things. So we did what, so we've concluded with the lease and everything. So now we already had a space. We knew that we're moving in. You know, our lease was starting, I think, in May, but you know, that was when we were coming to Canada. But we weren't even coming to Brandon immediately because we were going to go to, where they call that place, we were going to British Columbia first to go and, you know, chill with family for some time. So did you hear that engine? The engine start, vroom vroom. Okay, so back to our story. So we shall just paid for the apartment. So our apartment was just there, nobody was inside for like some weeks because we just wanted to shall just pay. I know that we have that space, so we know we have our own space. And then when we moved from BC, we now came straight to our apartment, and it was lovely. So with these few points of mine, or it's not any few points of mine, there's still more to say, because now this is my own story, right? And I know that this is not everybody's story. It's not that smooth. It is not it's not that smooth for everybody, and that's okay, really, guys. Yeah, we just have to be extra careful and extra cautious. So I also want to just go into a few things that you might need to do, or ways on getting, things you can do to help facilitate you getting your apartment here. And what else, Seth? Other people's experiences, if I have any other experience to just share, because you know, in all of these groups we share our experiences. Last I know that my process was smooth. I know that my process was nice. I didn't really go through the typical, you know, jobs not job the typical home search journey, and I really hope and pray that it's as smooth for you too. But just in the event that it's not, there are certain things that you can do. So I did a little bit of, I wrote some things that I printed out, and I want to see if I would get right into it. Now you see, I've told you my story, okay, Shebi. In fact, if you think about it, when you think about it, like getting the apartment, you know, from when we started searching to getting the apartment, it didn't even take that long. See, God is great too, Kaskia. So I'm just going to refer to my notes. Excuse me, what is it? So the places you can look to look for apartments. People ask this a lot. How do I see apartments? How do I find houses in Brandon to live in? One of the things I'll advise you to do is to join Brandon Facebook groups. Brandon is a small town, small city, so it's more Facebook centric. It's more Facebook inclined. You know, back then when we were always on Facebook and doing Facebook forums and all of that, that's literally where Brandon is right now. You barely see, like, you have people on Facebook, on Twitter, X, and Instagram, but Facebook is where it goes down. There's also a website called eBrandon. I think it's eBrandon.ca. You could also check that out and see people. These are places where people post a lot of things that are happening around in Brandon, groups in Brandon that you can join. Facebook, rather, groups in Brandon that you can join. You could join People of Brandon. There are 2 People of Brandon groups. Join both of them. Then there are other, you know, groups that speaks about, you know, searching for apartments, real estate, houses, and whatnot. Just Google, search for these things, and do your research so that you just don't go and fall into scams. Like, if you see an apartment, if the deal is too good to be true, I don't think I need to tell you this. You need to know what it is that you need to check for. Know what it is that you're looking for. Understand the areas in Brandon. If you have certain areas in Brandon that you want to see what it looks like, let me know. I will go and check it. Remember, I've been saying this thing. Send me. So if there are certain areas, if you have a place that you're thinking about, let me know, and I will just go maybe do a video around that place. And maybe I'll also do like more videos when I see like open houses, or I see apartments that are available and I could go in to go check. I'll probably do that also and just drop the video here for you. But yes, Facebook is one of the first places that you should go, but you should go to. I had left Facebook for a very long time, but guess what? I'm back on Facebook now. My brother was even surprised recently. He was like, why are you always Facebook? And I'm like, guy, things that happen right now in this our town, it's Brandon, sorry, this our town, it's Facebook that it is happening. That's where things are going down. You want to hear news on what's going on, check people of Brandon. You see stuff going around, check people of Brandon rather, and you see what's happening. So first thing is to do Facebook, join Facebook groups, check Facebook Marketplace, check Kijiji. See, there's another Facebook group. What I'll also do is maybe list out the Facebook groups that I am in. I am not vouching for those groups, but the Facebook groups that I am in that might mention, apartments and all of that, I will just mention it. Please, this is my disclaimer or whatever it is, because I don't know the people that are posting there. I'm just posting this group so you have an idea of where to go to as you're looking for these houses. So after Facebook, you could also check Kijiji. I don't know how well that works for people. Then you could also go with the, what do they call them now? Chibi's agencies, house agents. You have people, companies rather, like Vionel Holdings. Those ones have like that's the edge. Oh, I remember before we came, when we started that process, I'm like, hey, this is the edge, is where I want to live. Because I loved what I saw online. I loved the 3D rendition. But I'm not living there right now because when I eventually came and I saw what it was, it wasn't what I wanted. Well, that wasn't what I got. At the time we were ready for apartments, I remember what happened. At the time we were ready for apartments, the edge was already, all, there was no vacancy anymore. So I'm like, okay, in fact, since we didn't want to, let me just stay in my brother-in-law's house, and then we now got our own place, which is also not as bad. I mean, I can't seem to say that enough. So you could also check places like that. The apartments coming up. There's even one. There's one also that we were looking at. Then Apollo Heights, and they have more buildings. They have more buildings coming up. My husband recently even told me to even go there and go and do a video of all of those things so that you people will see. So there are places that you can look at. You have the south part of Brandon, you have the north, you have the east, you have the west. There are different places. You can live in all of these places. Just look at that. Then another thing that I would really advise you to do is to get friends, families to help you go check these places out, especially when you are not around, because you need somebody to be your eyes on your eyes in the, is it eyes on the ground, or be eyes in the, that saying, that proverb, I don't know what that's that's idiom. I don't know, I've forgotten what it is. If I remember, I'll write it there. But to be your eyes in this place, so they would go help you see. The plan in all of these things is to not fall into the trap of scammers and thieves, basically. In my own case, and a lot of people that I know, it's basically who you know. Someone says, oh, this place is available, and that's how a lot of us that came in at the time that we did got our places. People that came in after had to wait longer. Some had to stay in Airbnbs for some days before moving into their own apartment. But all in all, people get apartments. While it might not be as easy, I don't think it's as hard. I see people saying, oh, I'm looking for a place, I'm looking for an apartment, but before I know it, they find a place. So it's not a bad deal at all. And then another thing, let me see, what other places can you check? So I mentioned the agencies, but the property management sites, use their websites, go to their Facebook, go to their Instagram, look at what it is that they have, send them emails, call them, download Fongo, call them, speak to them. You might not even get to speak to them, but you can drop them a voicemail, put your number so they can call you back and you guys can pick up the conversation. And you know what I'll do? I'll also put list of list of the agencies too. Then excuse me, we didn't really face any challenges, but some of the challenges that people, like we personally did not face challenges, right? But some challenges that people could face would be around, what's that thing, references. It's not about reference. The challenges that people might face, yes, will be references, having somebody here to actually refer them, which is why, if you think about it, MPMP, during our MPMP journey, they want people with family here. You want people that would help you settle in nicely without any issues, because these are all the things that you encounter when you eventually move in. So references hopefully should not be an issue for you. Another thing that could be a challenge is, like, how for us, They didn't ask us for bank accounts, but some places will ask for your bank statements. Some people would want to see your credibility. What's your credit score? I doubt if that happens a lot in Brandon Sha. I've not really seen people being asked for credit score to get a house, but you can't erase all of these things. You shall. I've seen people that have been asked to provide their bank statements. So it's something that you should be ready to provide, because I'm guessing the management will want to see that you can handle the bill, especially when you are not working. People like us that are just new and had not gotten a job yet, you want to see that, oh, this person can take care of it. This is where your proof of funds also comes into play. Then, oh yeah, so another challenge will be because you come in, you don't have where to stay, or even if you have your family but you can't stay with them, you have to now stay in an Airbnb. That's also, more kachingi. You spend more money, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Then what else? So I've spoken about how I've not really seen situation where they're asking, PRs to show their job letter or credit score. I've not really seen that, so but just be ready just in case. Credit, I don't think they would even ask you. Credit score, you're just coming, you've not built anything, so it's not even something to stress about. And speaking about credit score, maybe that's also something I should do a video about, to talk about our own, what we have heard, and just give little tips on what we've learned so far about our credit score. So here are my tips, right, for you, you know, in a nutshell. While searching for your apartment here in Canada, first thing first is start. First thing first is is to start your search early. Trust your gut. Trust your gut. For me, oh, if it's too good to be true, it just might be too good to be true. But while you're trusting your gut, you would also use all of these other what's the word, devices at your disposal to ensure that you're dotting your T's and crossing your I's. Wahala, you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's. I've been talking for too long. Number two is be very cautious of scams. While I'm saying join all of these groups, you have to be very, very careful. Please, see, dot your I's, cross your T's. Don't send any of these monies until you've had somebody go in there, confirm that it is, what it is. Some people would even, I've heard that some people will say agencies, or some people will tell them to pay money before they go view. It happens sometimes in some areas. I think I heard this in Winnipeg. I don't know if that happens in Brandon, but just be extra careful. No fall for scam, I beg you. Have your documents ready. You might not need to provide all of them, but just have it. Talk to your references, your family, friends, people that could be your guarantors. What am I saying, guarantor? People that could be your referees in this place, because they always ask for references, at least two. Sometimes they call, sometimes they don't. They didn't call us anyways, so but they might call yours. I spoke about the documentation bar, so have your bank account ready. Have um um or somebody can what's the word, stay in your stead. So, like, just to digress a bit, when we wanted to get our car, while we had good credit score, they said our credibility wasn't good enough, so they needed somebody else. That's another story. I'll talk about that during credit score. But we had my brother-in-law be like a co something something on that, because he's been here for how many years now, and he's had enough time to build the credit score that they will be comfortable with. While they're comfortable with our credit score, they're not comfortable with how long we've been in Canada for. So you might have that situation. If you don't have a bank account, maybe you could speak with your referee and speak with the agency to see what you can work with. Explain to them that you're new PRs, or you're basically new in Canada and you're looking for a place to stay. So some of the things that they might want, you won't have. But the ones that you have, just gather the documents and keep it. So the next one is ask your landlord questions. Ask them questions about the facility. I know that my husband asked plenty questions. Oh my God. Thank God. See, thank God for who I married. Because if it's me now, I might not ask all of those questions. Later, I'll not be like, I should have asked that. But he had everything. He knew what he wanted. We knew what we wanted. And we asked all of these questions. Like I mentioned in my previous video, about the empty apartment tour video. we are not paying for water in our lease. We went into all of those details to understand what are the facilities available. In some places, you pay for water. Is parking a part of, the rent? And we found out that it's not. So the questions you ask, any question you want to ask, please ask them. Me, I'm just telling you, like I said, it's my experience. So I'm just trying to remember the things that happened at that point in time. And just basically telling you what it was for us. Then what else? This one is the best, the obunge, the number one of everything. Even if I did not say it as number one, I said the best for last. Ask friends, ask family, ask people in your network to help you look for a place. Most of the people that got places to live here that I know of in my own community so far had been through referrals. And while for some it might not necessarily be that, it still also is something that you should take advantage of. So you have people here, ask them to help you look for a place. Join those groups. If you don't have anybody, join the groups and be asking. The people of Brandon are very friendly. Heck, people in Brandon are really friendly people. And when you go into those forums, you go into those groups and you ask questions, you would almost always get an answer. People are there to help you, so take advantage of that. And so, with those not so few words of mine, that's how your girl got her apartment here in Canada without ever seeing it from back home in Nigeria. If you're new here and apartment hunting, trust me, I see you. While I might not have gone through whatever struggles you're going through right now, I still do understand it because I have people around me that did go through it. You're not alone, and trust me, see, it would all be stories for us to share eventually. I mean, I'm sharing mine now. I can't wait to hear your own story. And for those of you who have gotten your place, what was it like for you? Was it as easy? Was it hard? What were the things? What were your challenges? Do you have advice for people watching this video right now? Please put the advice down. Let them know. There might be some things that I had missed out. Please just put whatever it is that you want to share. People need this, and we'll just do our best, the little things that we can do to just help ourselves grow. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye. Hey, so I wanted to end this video, but I just realized that I didn't do the normal peace out, bye, da 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 da. Please remember to subscribe, like, share with your people, and I will try my best to ensure that I keep bringing informative, educative, and quite insightful pieces yours way. And I really hope that my videos are quite helpful. So please subscribe, turn on the notification button, give me a thumbs up, put in your comments, ask your questions, and whatever it is, just shout, try and engage. And thank you. And for the final time, peace out. See you in my next video. This person was asking, oh, what services would you recommend I go for? And that's just, that thing jogged my memory. Like, you know how it just hits one core memory? They will give you a premium job scan account. Another top one. So this is the one that is fighting with this job scan at number one. My husband opened his bank account from Nigeria before coming to Canada.